Okay. This is sorry about the last one. I'm not sure what happened with the camera, but this one here. I'm just going to pop this into Facebook for those of you who are trying to get on there. Bear with me a second. Okay. Okay, so I've got the live on the Facebook at the minute for now. This is the new one. Just going to wait for everybody to come in. Just setting up my tablet so that I can see your comments, because for some reason I can't see any comments on my page on my computer. Okay. Just going to wait a few more minutes. Yeah. It's not allowing me to get in there. Well, we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. Just turn this off. Sorry about the noise, everybody. Because my nail room is so small, I've had to open the window. It's very, very hot in here. So, and with having MS, I'm going to have to. I need some cool air. So I had to open my window wide open. I'm going to have to get a fan to go in here, I think. But this is the design tutorial, and it is for the soft flower. And the design is by Rumi Okamoto, a native Sensei, sorry. And she is a Japanese nail artist in Japan. She's brilliant. She does some great designs. And I hope that you'll enjoy this design tutorial today. So the first things that I want to do, I want to give you a list. I've given you a list if you're in my Facebook page and group. I've given you a list of products that you will need for this design tutorial. The first thing I'll do is give you the tools that you'll need. You will need a spatula. You'll need either a number 4 or a number 2. I use a number 2 for this because it's smaller. For smaller nails, you're going to need one. But also, we're going to do a longer nail, so you can use number 4 for that one as well. And that's the pointed tip. We'll need those. So we'll be doing a few flowers. If you don't have, if your polish is in it's not in a bottle, it's in a pot, you'll need one of these, but you'll need one of these anyway. Either that or this one. Doesn't matter. As long as it's a gel brush. So you'll need a gel brush. This is my Born Pretty gel brush, and I absolutely love it. I use it all the while. And it's got this end on it, and it's just brilliant. It's a little bit stiff at the minute, though, for some reason. I'll clean that out there for some reason and make it subtle. Supple, I should say. Okay, and finally you will need either a striper brush or a detailer brush. Oh, and one more thing, and I forgot to get this out. You will also need a dotting tool, a small dotting tool. You don't need a large one. Bear with me a second. I just need to find my small ones. There we go. Need a small dotting tool about that size. That's what you'll need. Okay. All right. The colors that you'll also need either some alcohol or some gel residue wipe off solution, anything like that. No acetone, because acetone is it will melt some of the stuff that we're going to be using. You'll need a base coat. You'll need a top coat, and you'll need a white gel polish. Now I've already put my white gel polish on my nails, so and I've put 2 coats. You don't really have to put 2 coats if your gel polish is has a good coverage, because it will be covered up. In You don't really need to, but I put 2 on there just in case anyway. So I'm going to do a short nail and I'm going to do a long nail today. The colors that you're going to need a yellow, a mustardy color of yellow. So be about the consistency of the color of a brown mustard. If you've ever seen French mustard, then that's about the color that you need. Need brown, which is a dark chocolate brown. No light brown. You need a dark chocolate brown. You need a dark purple, and this dark purple is a bit sheer. It's a sheer color, so it helps with this design if you have a sheer purple. If you don't, then you can take a little bit of top coat and mix it together with the dark purple, and it should give you a sheer color. And also you will need a dark pink, which is I'd like to say like a cherry color, a dark cherry pink, that color. And then you will need white, and these are not gel polish, these are gel paints. So they're thicker, they're a thicker consistency than gel polish. They don't run, and they are used for art. So they're nail art gel paints, and they're highly pigmented nail art nail paints. You do still have to put them in the LED or UV lamp. And I usually do that for about between 30 and 60 seconds. It's according to how much I actually got on my nail. But it doesn't take long. It's about the same time as you would a gel polish. So we'll get started here. If you want to work along with me, then that's absolutely fine. I would actually encourage that, because this is a live design tutorial. You don't have to do that. I mean, then some of you, I know, you like to stop the recording and then do your thing. That's what I like to do sometimes myself. So we'll go along with that if that's what you want to do, of course. Let's see here. Okay, so the first thing, as I said, you want to do is you want to put your white base on your nail. And then on top of that, you want to put a base coat. So you want to put a base coat down. I'm going to pop that down on here now. And then put that into the lamp for 30 seconds. And put it on both of these. You don't have to do the tutorial on both of them. I mean, that's up to you what size nail you want to do it on. If you have a client that wants a long nail done with it, then we'll do it that way. And that's why I'm doing a tutorial for both. Sorry, I just got something in this. Not sure what it was, but and if you have a client that has short nails, then we're going to do one for short nails. just so you can see what they look like with both. And I will try to stay in the picture this today. I have a habit of going out of the camera shot for some reason. I think I need to move my camera back a little bit so that you can see better. Just move it up some. There we go. Okay. Just going to pop those in the lamp for 30 seconds and let them do their thing, let them cook, as my friend Natalie calls it. I love how she calls it. How she says, "Let it cook." I love cooking, and so it works for me. Speaking of which, if you haven't seen her YouTube channel, go to her YouTube channel. She is hilarious. She's such a great YouTube nail artist, and I absolutely adore her. I so adore her and all of her YouTube recordings. She's brilliant. She makes me laugh so much, and she's a great friend. So have a look at hers as well, because she's brilliant. She really is. The gel that I use is not expensive. You can get that on Amazon for about £17 for 36 different colors. But I will warn you now, it's not. They're not a completely full thing. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me just move this out of the way. It's called And Self, but this was my white. I've used up my white within a week. That is there's hardly anything in there left. That's right here is the bottom of where it is. So to be honest, you get but what you pay. I am going to order some better nail art paints. These are really they're good, but there's just not enough in the pots for me. I want one with full pots, and I think I'll probably go to Nailchemy for that. I mean, £69 for the whole set. That's not bad considering what they are. I mean, they are absolutely brilliant. They've got some great products, and so I think I'm going to get their products. But anyway, let's get started here. Now, after we do the base and we put the base coat on there, we want to wipe off the residue from the base coat. So I'm just going to take a little bit of nail residue wipe off solution. This is Neo Nails wipe off solution. Some of the best stuff in the world. And this cost me, I can't remember, I think it was about £3 for a bottle. I thought it was £2 last time I looked, but it was, I think it's £3. So we're just going to wipe off any residue left over from the base coat. Normally I wouldn't really bother, but with this design you need to. Okay, so you want to take, It's according to whether you're doing the small one or the large one. I'm going to do the small one first, but if you have the large one, then you'll need a brush about this size. For me, my gel brush, this little gel brush will do me quite well. Just cleaning it off here, make sure there's nothing on it. Okay. The first thing you want to do is to take your pink and you want to get something, or if you have a large enough palette, do it on your palette. But you don't want it to be you want it to be quite sheer. So what I do is I take my pink and I push it along like this until some of the color has gone into a very light color. That's about the consistency you're going to need. It needs to be very sheer, and you want it to be about this bottom shade here. So I'm going to move this one out of the way for now. First thing you want to do is to make your first flowers. So make sure you always know where it is, or where the middle is for your flower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dotting tool and take a little bit of the pink here, and I'm going to pop a little dot right where I want my center to be for that flower. That's going to be your way of centering your flowers. I want to make that a little bit lighter because we don't want it to be dark. So see what I've done? We're going to do a flower on the side, so we want to make sure we know where the center is for that flower. So, and then you take your brush, pop your petal down there. You want about 3 petals, so you want one there, and one here. And see, it's left me my center there. I'm not sure whether you can see that or not. This camera is not the best in the world and not really happy about it. But if you can see that little clear space there where I've lightened the pink in the middle. Definitely gonna have to get myself a better camera. I'm going to have a new phone coming soon, so I may start doing my YouTube on my phone, because it seems to be better than using these cameras. I don't really like using these webcams. So we're going to do another one here. So as before, we're going to find a center, pop that center in there, wipe it down a little bit, and take your liner brush and just tap it so that most of that color goes away. I'm just going to go back in with my pink again. Do the same thing I did before. I'll just pull this down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Take it. And do this until you have very, very light consistency. Then pop it on there. And we're just going to do 2 petals this time with this one. And don't worry, we'll come back and do more petals, but it'll be with the purple. And so, you know, it may look a little bit shy of petals at the moment, but you will see a difference in just a few moments. Okay, so we're going to do 1 petal down here. Going to do 1 petal up here. And you can put them different. You can put them sideways, diagonally, however you want to do it. The big thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that all of this white that we see is going to be covered up. And it's not necessarily going to be completely covered up with flowers, but I'll show you in a few minutes just what we're going to do to cover up the white. But the white needs to be completely covered up. Okay, I'm just going to clean my brush here. And I'm just going to pop this into the lamp for 30 seconds. Meanwhile, I'm going to go to the large one, and I'm going to do it. Okay. Going to find my center. Now, as this is a larger nail, we're going to be doing a lot more flowers. So we're going to pop that center around here, somewhere in the middle here. Somewhere about the middle. And just tap that out until you can't see, but it's just a very light pink. Now we're going to place those petals. I'm going to do 4 petals with this one because it's a larger canvas. Or as Susie on Nail Career Education calls it, real estate. I like how she does that. I like what she says there. Nail real estate. And if you're in America, you understand what I'm talking about there. I'm going to pop this here. Tap it out. I'm getting too many things in my fingers now. And then I'm going to move this around. I'm going to make these petals a little bit larger because it's a larger area. Okay, I'm just going to pop a petal here. Now, if you're just doing one petal, then I wouldn't worry about finding my center because you're only doing 1 petal. It's not going to matter. I'm just placing different petals around here. Just making sure I've got the place completely covered. A little bit more color. Ooh, that's too much. I have to pull that out. There we go. You see how I've covered it up? And don't worry about this area here because it will be covered up with the purple. So we'll go to that in just a second. Just need to pop this into the lamp for 30 seconds. Meanwhile, I'm going to come back to the small one. Okay, move that back here. Now, we're going to go into the purple. And you want to do the same thing. Actually, no. I want to do something a little bit different here. I want to go in and fill this with the dark pink. And I want to go back over. I want to put some more leaves, some more petals on this, but they're going to be darker. It gives it a 3D look and gives it a better effect. I forgot that's what she did. So now we're just popping a few darker petals on here. And you'll see what I mean in just a few minutes once we start putting the purple on there. Now it looks like a whole bunch of flower petals. See the difference? Turn around so you can see the other side. The difference is that it looks more lifelike now. Okay, I'm going to do this one now. Put that in there to cure. I'm going to put some petals here. If I go silent while I'm working, it's because I'm concentrating. I'll put a dark petal up here as well. Maybe one there. we go. Turned out quite pretty there. Just popping that in there for 30 seconds. This other one is finished, so I can pull it out. And then we're going to go into the purple. So I can move this around so I don't put the purple in and mix it with the pink. I don't want to do that. So load your purple up. And you want to do the exact same thing that you did before. Same. Okay. If you want to do the same exact thing as before, you want to load that purple and then you want to brush it out until it gets to be a more sheer color. I'm hungry. I haven't had my lunch yet, so bear with me. So we're going to pop some purple petals here. And these are going to be very light, just like the first ones. You want them to overlap, but in a different direction. You don't want them to be the same direction as the pink. So you got a pink one there going this way. You want that purple to go this way. Yep. This camera, I'm not sure whether you can see that purple or not. It's quite sheer, but once we put the other purple on there, you'll be able to see it better. Not sure. Let me just have a look and see. Just put this other lamp on and see if we can see it better. Sorry that this is a bit blurry. Not sure why. Well, once we put the darker purple on there, you'll be able to see it better. Just going to pop that in there for 30 seconds. And we're going to do the same thing to this large one. Make sure you pull out that color. Because we want it to be as sheer as the other one. This purple is already sheer, but you want it to be lighter consistency than what it already is. So you basically want it to be a shadow of itself. You can put the purple, some of the purple in the white areas, because as I said, we want this to be completely covered up. We don't want any white showing. And I mean, if you can't get the white completely covered up with this, that's fine, because we're going to be covering up with even more other colors. Now you can change the colors. You can put any color you want. You can use blue instead of purple. You can use red and green together for something like a Christmassy one. You can put brown and yellow together for an autumn. Just anything that you really want. Any colors. I've seen the blue and pink together. It's beautiful. Okay, that should be plenty. Let's put some right here. Excuse me. Put one right there. Okay, so this is ready to go further. We do need this one more time. Now we're going to go back into this purple, but we're not going to spread it out. We're just going to load the brush up. And right where you put those other petals, go back in and put some darker purple petals in there. Yeah. Now the thing that's going to make these look like flowers is the middle. So I'm going to show you what to do about that in a moment. As soon as we get this one done here, here we go. The main thing about the petals is that you just want them random. You don't want them uniform, and you want them to have a softness to them. So it's going to be almost like a dream color, like a dream, like watercolor basically. You don't want any bold colors for this, because bold colors will just mess it right up. It needs to be soft. Okay. Yeah. That one's done. I think. I put it on there. I'm just going to pop them back in there for a second because they don't look completely dry. I'll pop pop it in there for about 30 more seconds. If any of you have any questions or anything, of course, just pop them in the comments below and I will answer them. It may take me a day or two to find them, but I will answer them. And of course, if you aren't on our Facebook page, that is at www.facebook.com/nail product review monthly. You can, and if you're not in the group, then we have a group as well, and we do loads of different contests. We have, I go into all the nail places that I'm associated with, and I get discount. There's discounts there, and also I let you know about their sales that they have, so that you don't miss out on anything. It's all in the group. So if you do have to like the page to be able to be in the group. So that's an easy one. So if you decide that you want to do that, then by all means, we will welcome you with open arms. Okay, so we're finished with that part. So we're just going to put that down there. We've got to put a little bit of mess on there. Bear with me a second. I just need to clean this off. Pop the lid back on that. By the way, this is my Born Pretty brush. This is a beauty. And I've got a whole set coming. I've got the rest of them, the one, just the whole nail art system coming. And I ordered this first because I wanted to try them out to see what they were like. And this I love, so I went back and I've ordered the rest of them. And you can get that at bornpretty.com. It's a bornprettyshop.com. That's what it is. Or no, it's a Born Pretty store. I will get it. I will put it in. It is bornprettystore.com. That's what it is. Okay. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to use this dotting tool, so we need to clean that off where we used that with the pink. I'm going to go into the yellow. If any of you are artists, if you've done art, then it is a yellow or ochre. That's exactly about the color that this is. If you don't have that color, then you can take yellow and add a little bit of brown to it, and that will give you the consistency and the color that you need. Now, what I'm doing is I'm just making the center, and it needs to be a little bit off. It doesn't need to be perfect. It shouldn't be perfect, actually, because of the fact that it is a soft flower. You don't want anything stark. And that's the difference between actually having a flower and just having watercolor. That makes the difference. And put that into the lamp for 30 seconds while I do this one. And the middle doesn't have to be yellow. It can be brown. It could be whatever color you want it to be. And there, we've just made our flowers. So sorry about the traffic, everybody. I mean, it can be noisy around here sometimes, and there's nothing really I can do about it. In the wintertime, it's a lot easier because I can keep my windows closed, and it's nice and warm in here. But in the summertime, it's quite warm, and I have to do something to ventilate this room. And unfortunately, that's the only way to do it. Okay. Next thing we want to do is we want to take this brown. It's a very dark chocolate brown. Put a tiny bit on the end of your brush. You don't want a lot because you're going to be tapping it out. We'll start with a small one. And you want to outline that yellow just a little bit, not a lot, just a tiny bit. Make sure that just give it a 3D look. And then you want to clean off your brush, go back into it, and tap that until it's very light. Tap it out all around it. There you go. Pretty flowers, and it's got a 3D look. Now it's still got some white in there, but we will deal with that in just a moment. I'm going to do this one now. Okay, clean off your brush. Just tap that out very lightly. There we go. "30 seconds in the lamp for that one." Okay. Clean off brush. And then we're going to use the dotting tool again. We're going to go into the white this time. You want a very small dotting tool for this. So I think I need a smaller one here. Yeah, that one will probably do better. So a dotting tool about that small. So I'm going to take that and pop it into the white. And then you want to put some very tiny little dots in the middle of that yellow. Then you want to take your brush, just want to tap into them. Remember, we don't want any stark white. We don't want any stark yellow. And pop that into the lamp. I'll try this side. This is smaller. Okay. As before. Just want to soften that white. That's all we're doing. Okay, there we go. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to put the top coat down on this, because we're going to draw some. Actually, no, the first thing, before I do that, let's see, where's that at? I've got a very small, long brush here. I'm going to take this yellow, and you know how we did the pink before and the purple? You want to do the same thing with this yellow until it's a very light color, because we're going to cover up any white that's left over. Just go into that, and any white you see, cover that white up with the yellow. Just make sure that the yellow is very sheer. You don't want any stark yellow colors coming through. There you go. Let's see. Move that all the way. There you go. You can see that better. That's what you want it to look like. So I'll get this other one out. Once I finish fighting with it to get it out. And we're going to do the same thing with this one while that other one is cooking in the lamp. You might have to do this 2 or 3 times. Because this is quite a big nail. Quite a long nail to do this on. But as I said, we want all of that white completely covered up. Don't see any white in it at all. Some of you may ask why we actually put anything on the base. And that's so that with the yellow being so sheer, once we're done doing what we're doing here, that you've got a white undertone. That's what you want. You want that white undertone. If you have white tips that you're doing it on, then you don't really need anything. But if you have clear tips, then you do need to put some white down. Okay, there we go. Put that in there for 30 seconds. Clean off my brush. Okay, now you want to put your top coat down. Because we've got one more step to do. Just going to do them both, and then I'm going to pop them both into the lamp. Now, if it feels a little bit bumpy or lumpy, which it shouldn't do if you do it right, but if it does, then you can take your buffer, get yourself a buffer, and buff it down, and then put another top coat on there, and it should be smooth. Do this before the next step, because if you do it with the next step, then it's going to take that next step off. You only put one coat of the top coat as well, because you'll be putting the second coat on after we finish with this next step. Okay. Final step. These brushes. These are what you're going to need to. We're going to put some little white flowers on there to give it more of a 3D look. And so these are the brushes you're going to need for those little white flowers. Mine is brand new and it's a bit stiff, so I'm going to put in a little bit of wipe off solution here and loosen it up a little bit. Okay. Just taking my tip. That's all you really need, just the tip. All you need. And then you want to take and make very small white flowers. Put one over here. This one looks a little bit weird to me, so I'm going to take it off and do it again. There we go. They're very sheer, but they make up the consistency of a 3D look. Do this one now. Now this one, since it's a longer base, you want to do more than just a couple of flowers. You want to do about between 3 and 4 dotted around. Now you understand why we didn't want any white showing on the base. Because if we did that and then we did this, it's not going to show these white flowers up at all. Pop these in the lamp. Then we're going to take that small brush again. And go back into this sheer yellow. And into the middle of the white. I'm going to take the corner, a little bit of that yellow, and then just pop it right in the middle. Gives it that exotic flower look. And that's what you want. Okay. Put that back into the lamp for just a few seconds, 30 seconds. Done with all of that, and we're just, all you need to do is top coat that, and then it will be finished. And then you will have your soft flower nails. Very easy to do. Anybody could do it. Whether you're a nail tech, whether you're doing it at home, doesn't really matter. You can do this. Anybody can do this designs. Okay, just final top coat. And I'm just using my Azure top coat. It's a very good top coat. I usually use it on these instead of my usual nails because it does have a bit of a smell to it. Oops. Pop that in there for 30 seconds and then you're done. So meanwhile, I'm just going to do a bit of cleanup here, waiting for that to be done. I'll do that in a minute. But your nails should be done in 30 seconds, and then you have some beautiful nails. Very exotic, soft flowered nails. And there we go. 2 different sizes. The colors are brilliant. There we go. Anybody can do it with any color. Whatever colors you want are there. I will have pictures of these. I'll take pictures and put them on the group and on the page for you so that you'll see the result. And as I said, it doesn't do them justice, this camera, and I'm not happy about this camera at all. But I will fix the solution. I do have a solution for it. It's just going to take some time for it to show up, for it to come. It's going to be a couple of weeks for my new phone to come. My old phone is not good enough to actually do this, so I'm going to wait for my new phone. I've got some a larger capacity memory card to go in it so that I can do my recordings and my lives on my phone so that you can see things better. This camera is just not the greatest in the world, and it wasn't cheap. I could say that it wasn't cheap at all. It's a Logitech, but it's not the best in the world. Not for this sort of thing anyway. So I'm going to I've got a solution for it. Okay, so this is all done, and thank you all for watching. If you haven't subscribed, if you haven't liked it, please like and subscribe, and click that little bell next to the subscription box so that whenever I have another video, that you'll see a new video. It'll notify you of whatever videos are coming up. I've got another one coming up, and this is not going to be a live. This is going to be a recording tomorrow, and it is going to start a series of Japanese arts that I absolutely love. It is to do. Oh, hold on a second. I'll just get this one. With this. My beautiful one-stroke tea rose. And I'm going to show you how to do that tomorrow. So stay tuned tomorrow. Come around, have a look and be part of this. We're going to be doing the one-stroke every Thursday for the next 4 Thursdays, so that you can learn how to do one stroke. I've had a lot of people asking me to do it, so I'm going to do it, and I hope that you can sit along and watch it. It's going to be quite good, and I hope you learn quite a bit from it. Those of you that want to learn one stroke, this is the easiest way, and I have learned this from a Japanese sensei. She is very good with one stroke, and she has taught me quite a few things about one stroke. And this rose is my pride and joy. This was my very first one stroke lesson, and I absolutely love it because it looks so real. And I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to go into the one stroke and do things the easy way, so that it comes out like that. Okay, so I will speak to you all again tomorrow. I will see you soon. If you have any questions, as I said, just pop them into the comments below and I will answer them. I'm not averse to answering any questions or actually commenting back to my subscribers. I do love questions. I do love comments. So guys, I will speak to you all soon, and have a wonderful week. Have a great day. Take care.